Treat Halloween. Kevin Love did his post-game interview with a Jason mask on last night. We had some other good costumes around the association. Not bad, right?
It's the best Kevin's ever looked.
Brooke Lopez, little Magnum PI. LeBron did Edward Scissorhands. There were a lot of good costumes. We showed a few yesterday as well. That's Kyle Kuzma, right?
Who is?
That's Kuzma. Oh,
yeah.
wow.
That's Dwight Howard.
Oh, that's aggressive. Okay. all right.
I don't know who this is.
I think that is that.
Oh, that's Savannah.
Yeah, Savannah.
Oh, nicely
Yeah,
done.
Medusa.
Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union.
Very good.
I don't know what that one is.
This is sad. Tells you a sad state of my life, by the way, that I did almost all of those completely off memory.
Oh yeah.
And
The PI one is great.
the Magnum PI one is good.
This is awesome. This worries me.
And
It's actually one of the cooler things LeBron does. He gets
The Halloween party.
all super into Halloween. Any team he's on, they all get really dressed up. It's pretty good. Trick everything. Giannis at the line late in the second quarter, and he airballs the first one, right?
Yes.
And then he's, did a little practice.
We're still
there.
watching this for a reason, people.
Airballs the second one. Big deal, not a big deal.
It's kind of
It's a big deal because it's becoming a mental thing. It's because like his ability to shoot and score, like it's a mental thing. This is not, and he's got Kyle Korver, who is a great shooting coach, has helped lots of players throughout their careers. And so if Kyle ain't helping you and this is getting worse,
I don't like talking about the things he does poorly because he does so many things well.
This could become an issue.
He's 2 for 14 from 3 on the season combined with the poor free throw shooting.
I'm with Richard. In truth, it's still a small sample size. It's 4 games. If it was a 4-game patch in the middle of the season, we wouldn't really notice. But you get that sort of, mental block, and then it builds into something. Yeah. Trick steps, Clint Capella, right? Little steal. Races down for the breakaway slam.
Like
and
he didn't even try and play defense. He turned around and was like, wait, what are we looking at?
Okay, but there's a lot of steps.
Let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Wow! That's the greatest travel in the history of basketball.
No, the best one was Russell Westbrook on bounds.
I mean, look.
No, but that was just stupid.
This one was bad.
This is really good. That one
was amazing.
That's when they decided to change the gather. When will we gather? This is
Perk?
This is Perk. This big Perk. This one.
This was really fun, and I like that he called himself out on social media after this one.
Yeah, he's the one complaining when
a lot. Again, he was like, "Look, I took 4 steps, he took 7, and
look
there you go."
It's about how fluid it looks.
Treat layups. D'Angelo Russell driving left. Packs it in.
Ooh, there was a highlight for the Warriors from that game.
Rodon's Karooks, thank you. Had a posterization. Producer Steve
this is the lefty. Show him the lefty.
Sexton, little dagger slam in Cleveland.
Show him the lefty.
Which were you most surprised at, Richard?
That there was a highlight from the Warriors game.
Colin Sexton, though.
Colin Sexton, the lefty was impressive.
And shout out to Jordan Clarkson for shouting out the Cavs video team for capturing the great behind-the-scenes video of that dunk.
I don't know what you're
recognizing the entire
team. You could just recognize the video team. You don't have. I'm just saying.
But I think they would care more about Jordan Clarkson doing it than me doing it.
Well, that's fair. Treat
give people credit. I respect that.
Pascal Siakam continuing to add new shots and moves to his arsenal. Are you impressed with how the most improved player keeps improving, Richard?
I am impressed, and I'm proud of him as a player. I don't know him personally, but to see a young guy get better every single year, get his money, have a guy leave and you still show up and continue to ball, I have a lot of respect for him, and he's earned his money.
And the Raptors are now, last year and this year combined, 21-6 without Kawhi Leonard.
Well, let's not get carried away.
Do you know what they're with Kawhi Leonard? They're with the championship ring, so I'm not sure I'm ready to.
I'm just saying that there's a reason to not keep them out of the conversation for being a team to be reckoned with in the Eastern Conference.
I agree.
That is completely fair. Also fair is to say that last night was crazy. We had so much going on, and not the least of which, we took a little page out of the World Series for some insanity with Houston and Washington. The Rockets and Wizards combining for 317 points last night in a game that did not go into overtime. James Harden dropping 59. Bradley Beal dropping 46. Also worth noting, this was a sellout crowd for the Wizards' home opener during Game 7 of the World Series, where they also had an event over with the Nationals in their stadium, so speaks well of DC sports, recognize. The Rockets getting away with a 1-point win but they did give up 158 points. Dave, which is a bigger deal?
This is actually surprising that I'm going the optimistic route because I consider myself a pragmatist at best.
Don't use
But
those
I'm actually going with the win.
Okay.
Because we're early on in the season, in the offseason, we didn't know exactly if the version of the Rockets with Russell Westbrook instead of Chris Paul would work. If you put up 159 points in a regulation game, that means that the offense is clicking early on. Also, how about this? You give up 23s, not a good number, but you hit 23 of them, which is incredible. And, 59 points is 59 points. I mean, if there wasn't all these other things going on, we'd probably be leading the show with a 59-point performance and a win by James Harden. So I'm going with the win as the more significant thing.
Listen, this is my thing with Houston people. I hate to tell good people bad things, but your team is not going to do much. You guys are going to be a lot of fun to watch. You're going to be a lot of fun to watch. Two teams have won a championship without a top 10 defense. I don't care. I do not care. You gave up 158 points to the Wizards, right? Two things. The Lakers, who have won 3 championships in 2001, they had the 22nd best defense, and then the Warriors. So both teams, and then the Warriors after the Kevin Durant they won. They had the 11th best defense. If you don't have a top 10, top 12 defense, you're not going to win. Giving up 158 points, that's fun for us to watch. It's great. And then come mid-April, we will no longer be talking about, the Houston Rockets.
Wasn't it your Cavs team, though, in 2017 that everyone said, oh, God, the defense, they have like a 1% chance to even make the finals because the defense is ranked 100th something.
And you guys did make it. That is completely different. But we're talking about playoff-proven people, though. You're talking about
the Rockets have been to the playoffs.
Proven.
I'm just saying they're not. It's not like that. I think we're a little early to say that they can't.
Okay, well then we'll continue this conversation next week and the week after and the week after, and we'll continue seeing example. They are great offensively. We just need to see more defense. If you want to win a championship, which they have all the talent and all the ability to do that, they can't be giving up 158 points to the Wizards and be like, hey, we won. It's like, but that's not going to get it done against the great teams. They also is the same team that blew a lead against Giannis, right? And with Giannis fouled out because they didn't play great defense. So, we can look at both samples and say, okay, this is fine. We know the offense is going to click and you can score. Who's going to play defense on this team when you need to get stops and you need to win a championship?
Can a night like that exist in a vacuum where it's just kind of both teams were running
Well, you can't say that, and it's been a 5-year vacuum.
And there you go.
Shut me up.
David, back after that comment from Richard Jefferson, is going to take a 1-segment break because we are going to talk about the Warriors. And our Warriors reporter, Nick Friedel, is in town, and he's going to kick his Syracuse buddy, Dave, off the set for a segment. Dave will be back. The Warriors, it's not good for them. Steph Curry has a broken hand. We want to know if they should embrace the tank. We will break that down next.